Hey, composing gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about sound design with Harmor, and we're going to talk about specifically bass lasers. So here's a demo sound. Now I'm going to mess with it a bunch, so give me a chance to maybe make the laser you're looking for. And now this laser is specifically, well, let me just play a few lasers. So here's a laser, and we can make the pitch bend longer and do something smoother. Do something like that. Pitch makes a big difference here. Phaser. And then, so those are some interesting ones. You might be looking for the pew 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 or the bomb. Like we're going to cover basic concepts to show you how to make lasers in Harmor specifically. So a laser is basically something that in my mind goes, has some sort of a pitch bend, goes, let me make a stereotypical laser. So we'll go to pitch and automate it on. That's a laser. That's a laser to me. You can have longer lasers. Basically, it's pitch bend stuff. So that's like a stereotypical laser. This is more of a bass laser. You probably heard stuff like this. If you haven't watched, if you're like confused about all the knobs I'm touching right now, go check out my Harmor from the ground up tutorial series to answer those types of questions about what knobs do and stuff. So we have this idea of a pitch bend. Now we can vary things as we go to make our laser more interesting. Now another thing you could do is you could just have no pitch bend and automate the pitch yourself. So we could write out a line. So you could have it do some things. Let's say that that's our line. You could have this first part be automated. Let me come back over here. So let's come over here and click. Now, okay, so there's two things we could automate. We could automate the frequency, so all the harmonics and fundamental together. Create an automation clip. We could maybe bring it up and then come down. This is going to be huge, though. This is something that will require fine-tuning. You may consider copying and pasting values, like move it however far you want, copy the value, and then so you could get exact motions much easier. Now you notice you can't go down using this method. Now another option you have, well, but you can't go down using the other method, is you could use detune, create an automation clip, and you could automate this. Now this is a crazy laser. So we could do something like create a laser and then do something with the same sound the next bars. And then we could like have some sort of a resonance lingo thing going on. With, of course, our filter moving. Yeah, you just... The small movements here make a big deal. Now, there's a number, other people might be going, well, geez, if you want to move up or down, why don't you just use a slide gnome? That's a perfectly viable option, too. So it's a FL specific thing. So if you're using this in a different DAW. But we have C4. Why not go down to C3? We could even do small things like that. And we can do this. So you can do stuff like that too. Those are perfectly viable laser option type deal things. So what else did I do here to make this sort of a thing of its own? Well, I was looking here and I decided to move the filter on its own. So as you can see here, the filter is being automated on. Which makes a big deal. So that's something. Now, yeah, get a whiplash right there. That's pretty cool. I actually kind of dig that. I'm going to leave that there. Now, that's not really a laser anymore, but if we go to our pitch, we could do some interesting stuff. Bring it out more. Bring it down. And we now stuff like the down stuff, you can make some really interesting beats with that. So if you have a really long laser, that could be something that you're into. If you're looking for like that one moment for a laser, that's a good time to do something like that. Okay, now I messed with the phaser. Without the phaser, I feel like makes a pretty big difference in this. And of course we have pitch with no variation, quite boring. Too much variation can get like very drum and bassy. So I just turned the harmonizer off, so there's no more tones being generated, and the phase is much more closely matched. The phaser's still going, so we get that movement without the phaser. Not quite as profound. I feel like the phaser brings it out because you got to think about the amount of mud that goes on with the 9 voices and pitch, well, 3 voices. So the phaser will actually remove things, causing things to sound clearer. So don't be afraid to use a phaser, like to just clear up your sound. It's basically like a crazy EQ, depending on, you know, what mode you've set it to. Now imagine automating the detune now. Oh man, oh buddy, let's do it. So great automation clip. We could create some tiny movements inside a bigger laser. I don't want to go like too crazy because it sounds like insane already. Maybe we could make this an even longer progression. We could have this be like this huge laser, just a super long thing. Now I'm making risers instead, but it's not technically a laser, at least in my opinion. For me, a laser is something that, you know, I guess it could be considered a riser, could be a type of laser, could be a type of riser, but that's lasers in general. Now that's like the crazy version, but you can make really simple stuff with just a pitch bend and maybe some reverb, and that's like boring. So who wants to do that? So we're doing this. We're getting crazy. I've automated the pitch thing. I was thinking about doing something crazy with the phaser, but I decided maybe not right now. It's a lot easier when you're working on a track to finagle things into, you know, exactly what you want. Right now, I'm just kind of looking for something cool to make and looking at different techniques. Now, what would be an interesting idea, and I'm not going to do it in this video, is I could take a riser and make a shorter laser out of it. I could take a pack and then use the same techniques, any kind of sound, and try and make a laser out of that. That would be interesting. And just do all manner of craziness. So if you have any questions or ideas, mostly ideas, not really looking for questions, drop those in the comments, subscribe, and have a blessed day.
Opposing gloves. Reversing.